What's up, fight fans? Mainman Mademan here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. What up to the fam? And what up to everybody in Mainman Mademan's boxing form? Hey, look, man. So the thing is this. So we know we got word on the curb, man. It's being reported everywhere that Gervonta Davis has agreed to a fight to face Frank Martin in his next fight, and possibly going down sometime either in the spring or either in the summer. Now, I want everyone to be cautioned that we haven't heard anything from Gervonta Davis yet on this fight, nor have we really heard anything from Frank Martin. So we'll see if this all sticks. But if it does, man, I will say I think it's a pretty decent fight. I can't say it's the greatest fight in the world. You know what I'm saying? There are other bigger names that I would have preferred to see Gervonta Davis face, but still a good competitive scrap altogether. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that the pay-per-view numbers are going to be jumping off the page for this fight, given that Frank Martin is very little known. But however, I still think it'll do well, but just not nowhere near that what Gervonta Davis did with Ryan Garcia. Frank Martin is a good opponent, man. Southpaw, you know what I'm saying? Shows some vulnerabilities at sometimes during his fights. Likes to take time off. Activity in the ring kind of dips. But outside of that, man, really good technical fighter. Good reflexes, you know what I'm saying? Working with Derek James right now, his head coach. So we'll see if that helps him become much more, I guess, methodical in his stance. But either way it goes, man, I still think it's going to be a really competitive fight for Gervonta Davis. And the good thing is that it takes some criticism off the table of he don't face, slick black fighters and so on and so forth. So it will kind of hurt that criticism in the end. But I can't say it's a titillating matchup. You know what I'm saying? The things that we've been getting from Gervonta Davis as of late has been matchups that had a bit of intrigue to it. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know, this is kind of like not in that light. But once again, it would be a great measure on Gervonta Davis, so people could see how he measures up with maybe another slick black fighter. You know what I'm saying? Something that he's been criticized about. So we'll see if this all works out, man. I'm just glad to know that boxing is starting to come around to, issuing dates and stuff like that, man. This is a decent fight for the legacy of Gervonta Davis. I think that even though Frank Martin hasn't really done much in the game right now, I think that a lot of people just respect his skill level. And they'll look at it that, like, look, if Tank Davis gets through a dude like this that got a good skill level like this, then it speaks volumes about Tank, you know what I mean? And I think that's the best way to look at it from that particular angle. But from an excitement standpoint, I just don't think that the matchup is, an exciting thing, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see. I definitely lean towards Gervonta Davis in this fight. I think that the fact that Frank Martin takes off too much time in the ring and his activity does dip throughout the fights, that's going to hurt him, and that's going to give Gervonta Davis a lot of leeway. I do see a close fight between these two fighters coming down to the wire, perhaps, you know what I'm saying? Maybe the last 4 or 5, like the last 4 rounds or so. I think that the fight gets decided in those rounds right there. But I think that these two will be going neck and neck up until that point. And I think that at that point where Gervonta Davis will kind of separate himself. I think Gervonta will be the more stronger puncher. He'll, power changes things. When a fighter who hasn't been in there with a guy that can really, really punch and he feels some real power, well, it changes their style, fight fans. And we've seen this over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? My man Shakur Stevenson right now is going through a lot of criticism from boxing fans because of how he performed against Edwin De Los Santos. But Edwin De Los Santos can punch. I heard Rolly Romero saying how, the guy he fought, Barroso, he can punch. And that's the reason he fought the way he fought. And it changed the style of Rolly Romero all around, and that's what power does. And so I think that in this case, with Gervonta Davis and Frank, we've been seeing Frank let his hands go, be fluid in a lot of fights. But I think that once he feels the power of Gervonta Davis, a lot of things change. But we'll see. Thumbs up on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Share, rock the bells, man. To the next video. Salute to the fam. Peace out.